So you could go after somebody in a Volvo and it won't kill them.
Mm-hmm.
It won't let you.
Yeah. Well,
so not a good car for hitmen.
Allegedly. Like, they're aiming to do that. We don't, here at Daily Motor, recommend you try chasing anyone down in your S60.
Should we try and race this cop?
Yeah, you should. Well, he'll never think it's you because you're simply an electric vehicle driver in your business car.
No, I'm a cop. I'm Men in Black. We're Men in Black right now.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. It's Chris and Charlie with Daily Motor, and we are looking at the backside of Chris so that we can get right out and see the 2023 Volvo S60 that we are driving. I don't think I've experienced the blacked out Volvo badge before.
Just realized I was running on camera.
Is that
I'm
not
going to
something?
be running on the internet now. It's okay.
Oh.
This is like a very tuxedo, they like to call it, sort of thing, right? Because it's like a very metallic. There's something wrong with it.
See all this? Oh, stand right here.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
That's from somebody washing it.
Very black.
rocks.
That's the tough thing with black cars is they show
Yeah.
things. Yeah, this is the
right here
journalist
too,
spec
Charlie.
car. Is that a dent?
No, it's just a bunch of scratches.
Okay, all right. Journalist spec car, that means everything is blacked on it. Black wheels, black accents, black badges, black lettering, floor
This
mat.
is probably the driver's floor mat.
Well, Joe. Charger. That's going to slide everywhere.
I'm going to, here, put this in the, here. Will you put that in there?
The driver's.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I understand why he didn't put it under the floor, Charlie, if you'd like to come back here.
Okay. That is an battery.
Yeah, and it goes all the way up.
Yeah.
So.
Can we just put that in the office so that we can forget it next Monday? This isn't powered, is it?
Or it could probably chill in the back seat on the floor.
If you want it to. It's going to slide still.
You think it'll slide?
Yeah.
Oh, crystal shifter.
So this is the Recharge version. It still says T8 right here. T8 all-wheel drive Recharge, meaning we have a lot of power in this. 455 horsepower, 523 pound-feet of torque. And knowing this powertrain, we've driven it in other Volvo models before, it's not exactly going to feel exciting, but it should feel very, very powerful, very capable. And we haven't driven it in such a lightweight model like this because you can't get this powertrain with the V60 unless you get the Polestar, which is a lot of fun, but is a different sort of beast. This should actually be a sleeper car, if you will, because it's got a ton of power, but it's not going to have all the kind of Polestar bits and features that are going to show you off. This one, in fact, only costs $67,000, which I know kind of sounds like a lot depending on what you're comparing it to, but is right in line with other luxury sedans that offer as much of this as this car does. What could possibly be taking him so long?
Sorry, I'm dealing with Facebook Marketplace BS. I had to call Patrick.
Degenerates?
Yeah, well, there's somebody's there right now trying to look at the car, and I told him to let me know when he was close so I could tell Patrick, and Patrick's like not there right now, so he's got to run over there.
That's frustrating.
So whatever.
Do you need me to drive first? Because I would happily do that.
No, I'm good to drive. I'm good to drive.
All right. Well, let's check out the back seat. I have actually not been in an S60 in years.
I've never been in. Well, my Lemon's car is an S60, but it's quite a bit older.
Quite a bit slower.
Yeah.
What is this?
Is that the passenger floor mat?
Is it?
Yeah, it must be.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why do they do that?
So they don't get dirty. But he didn't have a passenger, so I don't know.
I like how warm it is. This is actually...
It smells quite nice.
Quite a lot of legroom.
Yeah. Dude, I love Volvos. Volvos are just the best.
Did you see in the comments how mad people got at us because we didn't realize that there were cup holders somewhere in the Mercedes C300?
Yeah, you had to double press, and the cup holders slide out.
Yeah,
so people got annoyed.
A lot of cross about
that.
In
the Topher's comment section, they were actually polite to me, and they said, "Oh, it's okay." You know how his commenters are always very nice.
Well, that's because he may or may not discourage.
Yeah, he definitely
mean
discourages mean comments. 2 USB-C ports. We've got 2 heated rear seats back here. We've got some netting on the back of the seats as pockets that definitely will never get stretched out.
Are you an enthusiast of the white cross stitching?
And also this material is kind of neat too.
It's kind of sharp though. Yeah, I would happily ride back here. But I would also happily ride in the front.
Should we do that?
Yeah, we should. But we should also take a look at the engine because as I let the viewers know while you were dealing with Facebook Marketplace.
You'll have to mute my audio.
This is a potent machine. I actually think this might be one of the biggest sleepers on the market right now, especially as it's built, blacked out like this.
Do not drive, it says.
Because the thing is, if you get a BMW M340i that makes about this much power as well, it's going to have M badges everywhere, and it's going to seem like it's like the opposite of a sleeper. It tries to act like it's more than it is. This car, very nice and soft.
How's that let me feel before you? Oh, yeah. Probably for sound deadening.
Yes.
Very tall hood. Oof.
This car doesn't show anything about being performance-y, aside from the fact that it's very blacked out and it might look like you're kind of a go fast sort of car. There's no badges anywhere that say like, oh, this could beat probably most cars off the line.
So let's take a look at our drive modes here.
Why? I thought that was the nice thing about Volvos is you don't have them. Hybrid, power, pure, and constant all-wheel drive like a Subaru.
Let's just leave it here so we can mess with that sort of thing.
Would you like steering feel firm?
No, please don't do that to me.
Okay. I'm going to turn off creep.
Yeah, turn off creep as well. So we can have
Don't want to be creepy.
regen. Oh, just Volvo steering is just the best, dude.
What he means by the best is that it's very light and easy to do.
It's just so... Are you getting a phone call?
Huh.
Okay.
You're like paranoid of that.
Huh?
You're paranoid of me getting a phone call. Anytime I so
I'm
much as
traumatized
reach
from it.
toward my pocket. You freak
Although
out.
it's more so been me today having to deal with things.
Yeah. So for those of you who are not in the know, this is a plug-in hybrid vehicle.
Oh, did you not tell them that already?
I don't think I did. And therefore you can drive it around, especially with the new Recharge version, the larger battery and larger, more powerful electric motors, fully like an electric vehicle. It's got plenty of power with which to do that.
This has quite a bit of power.
Yes. 523 pound-feet of torque. Healthy. That's what I like about the powertrain is that you can get up to speed like that effortlessly.
Yeah.
Now, I still can't imagine it's going to be as good as the M340i's.
No.
6, but
Of course not.
it's going to be nice.
But it's probably just as fast, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite punch you like the M340i does,
No.
but that's not what Volvos do. Volvos are nice and smooth and refined, and
Yeah.
they do things gracefully.
Right. Graceful. It's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Would you say this car feels very premium?
No.
Okay.
I would say that it feels high-end.
Ah.
Yeah.
Very luxurious.
Luxurious.
This will be horribly scratched.
Yes, it will. Let me just leave it open. You don't have to worry about it.
Well, this as well, all of this. Yeah.
Brake pedal feels pretty nice. There's a little squish at the top
Like for the regen.
for the regen. That's right.
Not degen.
What do we think?
regen.
Left or right, Charlie? For
Right.
this guy.
Right.
He's gonna go right? Oh,
Yep.
you're right. You're right. He went right. Yeah, this car is like properly quick.
And because it's a Volvo and it'd be so quiet, you're not going to realize when you're doing very illegal speeds.
520 pound-feet of torque.
Yeah.
Something like that.
523.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You're going to get gypped on oversteer thanks to the
Yeah.
mail vehicle.
That's okay. It's quite hot in here.
I was thinking about how much I like that. It's carpeted right here. Keep sound deadening down, and so that things won't rattle against it.
I wish it was easier to get your hands on a postal vehicle like that, because it would probably get a ton of views if we...
Yeah,
reviewed
Mr.
one.
Regular did one at Regular Car Reviews.
Oh yeah, his name's Mr. Regular?
That's what he like sometimes goes by. His real name's Brian.
Oh. Feel that instant torque there from that electric motor.
Yeah, that's really pushing me back. Not giggling as much as we did in the M340i, but
No.
but I'm happy to be in here.
Yeah.
Although, Chris, we decided we can't film the interior of this car. It's too dark.
It is very dark.
It's very black. We
This
said
is
no
a
more black
very
interiors.
black on black. Oh, I'm gonna put my seat down. Oh yes. Ooh, you can go real low in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Look how low down I am.
Yeah.
This is great.
Quite. The S60 has just always been a cool person's car.
Yeah, if you're a little bit too sophisticated to own one of the mainstream Germans,
Mm-hmm.
there you go.
Rough ride
Oh.
section, excellent.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Soaking it up, nice and smooth.
Oh, the seat's so comfortable when I squished down into it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We got the leg extender out.
Got our
This is
little
just-
Swedish
dude,
flag.
Volvos are just the best.
Mhm.
It's going to suck getting out of this week because I don't want to drive anything else. Only this.
The funny thing is our other car is from a German manufacturer whom we may have mentioned previously in this video, and we're not going to want to drive that.
In here? Did we talk about how much this car costs?
Yes, $67,000.
That's wrong.
64. I'm sorry.
64,000. What else? What can we talk about in here? It's on the Monroney.
I would like to talk about something.
Okay.
You and I are both large fans of the Volvo V60, the wagon.
Yes.
However, there is a reason why you would buy this over the V60.
Okay.
2 reasons, actually. 1, it's quieter in here than the V60 because you don't have the open cavern.
Yeah.
2, the V60 in America you can only get with the T6 powertrain and in cross-country form.
Right.
If you want to get a normal V60, you have to get the Polestar.
Yes.
This you can get in this plug-in hybrid version, the Recharge, with the federal tax credit, full $7,500 federal tax credit, because it is built in South Carolina, and having actually quite reasonably affordable car.
Yes.
The V60 will cost you quite a bit more. And V60s are made a lot less.
What if you get, couldn't you get the tax credit with the V60 Polestar?
Maybe. It might cost too much. There's a price cap.
Oh, it's probably too expensive. What's the price cap?
I don't know off the top of my head. I think it's
this car.
I think it's 55 grand.
So this car is also too expensive.
But it's base price. 5,500 base price.
So this car is still too expensive.
What?
57,950.
Ooh, then yeah, maybe this one's not eligible anymore.
Yeah. And you probably have to get the Ultimate if you want Bowers & Wilkins. They probably won't give it to you on a lower trim.
Oh, well, it might be the base price of the car in the base trim.
Oh.
And then it'll qualify.
Well, in that case, then sure. Are we doing a launch? It's a very me thing to do. Spun its wheels in a second.
You know what I actually quite appreciate? It's still very quiet.
Yeah, it's very quiet.
You barely hear the engine. And can you even shift?
Yes, you can. You gotta go to B.
There you go. They didn't pipe in any engine noise or anything because they probably, oh wow, that's...
I need to send a text message.
Look at that Tacoma just barely falling off the truck.
Transmission is Japanese. Interesting. And the final assembly point, we said Ridgeville, South Carolina, which is why we're able to get the tax credit, probably. 25% of part content from China.
Interesting. Well, Volvo is owned by the Chinese.
Oh my god. Ooh. Feels like it rotates nicely.
Yeah.
It does feel heavy though.
Yeah.
Yeah. See what our fans are saying about Volvo and join in. And then they give all their social media handles. Did you ever think you'd see the day where on a Monroney for a car there are social media handles?
No. Let's see how it navigates this.
Onyx Black. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, heavens.
Not well. You know what car took that very well and actually kept around the corner?
What?
Kia Soul.
Ah. Yeah. Well, only the finest of driver assist in the Kia Soul.
Yeah.
Seems like it's doing quite nicely now. Yeah.
So if I go into pure, this is how quickly I can accelerate on electricity only.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, it's got to have a couple 150 horsepower or something.
Yeah.
Do you remember earlier when I said I wasn't going to say anything negative about this car?
Yes.
I'm going to go back on that. This doesn't look particularly high quality.
Well, right, that's because it's hand done, presumably.
Which I guess is kind of cool, but...
I was joking about the hand done. I think they're trying to make it look hand done, though.
Okay.
87 miles per hour is the top speed you can do on electricity only.
Oh.
Which is enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Black headliner. Everything's very dark in here.
Well, we have the dark package.
Yeah. What do you think about the thickness of the steering wheel?
It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I get that for a luxury car, you know, oh, that's good.
Oh, somebody's crashed into that.
But they've mended the pole.
Oh.
They've unequinoxed.
I was going to say, but then maybe the Equinox driver came around and said, no one's going to remember me anymore. So then they smashed the other piece.
I can't believe General Motors still gave us one of those to review.
I know. They must not watch our videos. everyone, we're going to spend the week with the Volvo S60. What are you putting over this right now?
Maybe I'll put images of, I don't know, what should we put? Pictures of Chris being excited about various things.
Oh, have fun finding that. But we'll catch up with you once we have spent the week. The Volvo S60 Recharge.
It is a sad day here at DMHQ.
And it's freezing.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
And you and I are...
What's green and orange?
Miami University. Hurricanes.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It is a sad day every day when we have to get rid of a Volvo, but this might be my favorite press car that we've ever gotten. I mean...
Ever?
Well, not favorite as in like it's been my the most exciting or anything like that, but like if I had to buy a car and like I had a lot of money, a good amount of money, a reasonable amount, yes, it's like sleeting amount of money, there's a good chance it would be this.
No, I mean, that's what I've always said. And I actually made a video dedicated to that point for my personal channel about how like people ask me, no, money's no object, what do you daily?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even that expensive of a car. It's like
64
grand or something.
Yeah.
If I was a multimillionaire, I'd still have one of these. Maybe not an S60, but some sort of Volvo. Yeah, S90. So.
Yeah. Well, the fact that when you get this little bit smaller one, it's very powerful. It actually peps up and goes.
Yeah.
And I kind of dig the black appearance package.
Me too. And
I don't
that's rare
usually.
For us. Yeah.
It's because they blacked this one out so well. I mean, every badge and trim piece matches.
It's cohesive.
Yes. Yeah. It's not just like a white car with some black badging and like that's it sort of thing. It's truly murdered out. I mean, if you threw tints on this, it would be just obscene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get
not
inside.
be outside anymore.
Right off the bat, we got to get it out of the way. This might be my favorite sound system of all time. Like, you know how, and I don't know if it's just confirmation bias as we get more and more comfortable with them.
Yeah.
But do you know how, like, the last few times we've gotten into Volvos, especially the 23s, we're like, is this even better than before? Like, I think they've retuned this a little bit. And I will admit, the electric car aspect helps because the rest of the car is so quiet then when you're driving around that it's assisted. But it's so well balanced.
Yeah.
There were times I got home and I was just sitting. I sat in the car for like an extra 5 minutes. Yeah. Just listening to music.
5 minutes, that's nothing.
I took Alyssa out in the car yesterday and had her just sit in the driver's seat with the driver sound tuning on and everything and just had her listen to some of her favorite songs because it was just... And if you own a Volvo like this, I highly recommend you pay extra for some sort of music service like Tidal or Amazon Music HD or something that gets you lossless audio files, because most cars you can't really tell a difference. It's not going to be worth your time. But a sound system this good, it's worth paying for something for that lossless bit rate. Yeah. You're going to get those extra little bits of instrumentation around the cabin that you just never even picked up on in other cars. That's cool.
Touching your crystal there.
Yes. Every time you shift, you get something nice in this car. Yeah. Because of the crystals.
That's right.
The orifice.
Orfors.
Yes.
You know Swedish. You should know how to say that.
Orifice.
There you go. See? You had it in you.
Yeah, thanks. I was getting above EPA for EV range in all driving situations. I did the fuel economy test at highway speeds, 70 miles per hour, and 86 degree temperatures, AC running at 72 auto, and still at highway speeds got 45 miles. And EPA is 41.
Holy crap.
Yeah. That means great. In like city driving, just driving around or whatever, you might be able to squeeze out 50 miles of EV range with this car.
Well, that makes sense because I would charge this the couple nights that I had it. And I would drive like all day. And usually I drive 40, 50 miles in a day. And I would be able to go all day on a charge. And I hardly used any petrol. So
I felt a little bad taking this from you a tad early, but I still didn't feel like I had enough time with it. Like I was still like, oh man, tomorrow's Sunday.
Yeah. I only had like 2 days with it.
Right.
You had 4. 4 days.
They've calculated the EV driving so well too. I always drive in B mode, even when it's in gas, and it does so much regen. You rarely have to use the brake pedal.
The fact that you can one pedal drive a plug-in hybrid car.
Yeah. It's
coolest thing. Yeah, it's great.
And there's enough power. Look, there's some traffic coming. I'm getting a little bit of slip in this rain, but Oh, shoot. I just pushed into the kickdown pedal. Didn't mean to do that. But I was going to show that it was going to take off just fine and get out of its own way in electric only. Now the engine's going to have to run a little bit to warm itself up. But that's okay, because we were probably going to squeal it around oversteer anyway.
Yeah.
Another thing I really like about the electric driving aspect of this car is, unlike a lot of plug-in hybrids that we drive, the electric motor doesn't have to go through the transmission. Some of those plug-in hybrids, you feel it shifting, and it's kind of weird. You're like, why?
It's unpleasant. You don't want that. Yeah.
Whereas this is a perfectly smooth, unbroken, steady state acceleration from 0 all the way up to the speed limit.
Yeah.
And then when you're driving it like this, obviously you've got transmission. I mean, it works like a normal gas car.
Right. Yeah, I appreciate that it's a whole separate entity.
Yeah.
It streamlines it and it makes this thing feel even more expensive and even more high end.
Yeah.
It's just like it's things like that set the Volvo aside.
It feels intentional. It feels like they really thought out, like they went and drove it for a few years, and which actually kind of makes sense because they've had this plug-in hybrid powertrain in their cars for a long time. It's just been recently that it's been bumped up in power and capability.
Yeah, right. I like how you can feel it hit from the back. You feel the instant torque behind you, and then everything else comes in and fills in the rest.
I'm going to try steering feel firm for the first time.
It's probably still not super firm.
No, it is a bit, it's just a bit stringier now.
Oh, okay.
Few petty complaints, and they are small, but this...
How dare you?
This being the high-performance car, and I don't say this often, but I could actually go for some paddle shifters. Because in that situation back there, this is a really fast car. I mean, I'm getting up to really quick speed.
It's so quick.
And the fact you have no real control over your shifting is a bit unfortunate because you see my revs are all the way down to 1500
down here.
Yeah, but it's so lazy and it's way out of my reach and it's not like a satisfying thunk.
That's true.
This makes more power than that BMW M340i, right? Quite a bit.
Oh yeah, quite a bit more power and torque.
But yet you can't access it the same way because and okay, fair, maybe that's what Volvo is going for. They just wanted to make sort of this sleeper fast car that has a bunch of power but isn't intended to be a sporty driving car.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But and then maybe they're trying to just make Polestars be their full performance lineup. So.
Yeah, but I still don't think you get paddle shifters and Polestars either.
Probably not because they're electric.
Yeah. Woo. Oh, I thought you meant Polestar engineered cars.
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I guess they still do have those under Volvo's lineup.
Yeah, they do.
So this is more like a BMW 340i, no M. It's got the power, but it's not intended to be.
Yes, which I like.
Yeah.
This car is not trying to be anything. It's its own thing.
Yes.
It's not trying. Okay, we love the M340i. Don't get us wrong.
Yeah,
the M340i is an excellent car. Mm-hmm. But you get the sense that it's trying to be something it's not because it's got all the M badges and it's ridiculously fast and it's just, I don't know, it's just and it's got the fake engine noise and everything. Mm-hmm. But you get in this and it's just honest.
Yes.
It's just an honest car. It's not trying to be showy. It's not trying to feel overly technological. There's nothing in here that feels fake. It's just
out of place. Yes. Again, goes back to that. It feels very intentional.
Yes.
Other petty complaints?
Oh, that doesn't move. Yeah, Volvos do that.
And it's in my business.
There are some things about Volvos that if they would just do them, they'd be the perfect car. That's one of them as well. That's a safety issue though, Charlie.
And the screen isn't very responsive. I don't mind the layout. I don't mind how it works. It just takes too long. Yeah. And when you're driving, if you're in CarPlay, you're listening to whatever, you're like, oh, I want to change, I want to go into hybrid mode because I'm on a highway or something like that, or hold mode. So you press that, you press driving, you wait a quick sec, and then you're like, okay, hold, and then you got to go home again, and you go back to CarPlay. It's responding pretty quickly now, but sometimes that click over to settings takes about a second, and then this takes another second, as you can see, it's just kind of delayed. And that's 4 or 5 seconds that add up that you're not paying attention to the road.
Yeah, crash into something.
Right. But at least you've got physical volume, physical track selection.
But Charlie, if you do crash, you're in a Volvo.
You're right, and it won't kill you.
It won't kill you.
Yeah, Volvo's made a mission to not
Nobody dies in Volvos.
Right. Well, they've actually said, corporate statement, no one dies in Volvos or dies from Volvos. ADAS, like if it detects a pedestrian coming, it'll slam on the brakes.
I
and everything.
see.
They don't, and if it does hit a pedestrian, it's supposed to like have a soft, place for the pedestrian to land.
So you could go after somebody in
the
a Volvo,
and
and it won't
let you.
kill them. It won't let you.
Yeah, well,
so not a good car for hitmen.
Allegedly, like they're aiming to do that. We don't here at Daily Motor recommend you try chasing anyone down in your S60.
We should get a
human to try that with.
No,
Oh.
no, Charlie. We should get a cardboard cutout of somebody.
Oh.
We had a cardboard cutout of Matthew Stafford at the Ford dealership.
Oh, did you?
And we set up a whole situation with the Ford Expedition that had this same sort of thing.
Okay.
It killed Matthew Stafford.
Oh no!
But
that's why he's no longer the quarterback for the Detroit Lions.
yeah, he was killed by a Ford
at
Expedition.
Gene Buttman. Not the first individual to be killed at Gene Buttman.
You should probably cut this out. But I think so. Yeah. Oh, it's dreadful.
And if there were a Volvo that would kill you, it would be this because it looks properly menacing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the key ways that this beats the M340i. Back seat.
Yes, usable,
much more room.
very
right
usable
there.
back seat.
Yeah.
Every single way.
I disagree because we quite like the M340i.
It depends on. Oh, hold on though. It depends on why. It depends on what the car is being used for.
Yes.
Because if this is being used as a daily driver sort of thing, I don't think there's anything about the M340i that I like better. However, if I'm using it in a way that I'm driving spiritedly very often, then I'd obviously have the M340i. But like the infotainment is not much better in the M340i because everything is still in the screen. Sure, maybe it reacts a little bit faster. The sound system's not as good. The interior is not as plush. The back seat's not as big.
Trunk's probably not as big.
Trunk's probably not as big. The
Doesn't
sound.
matter.
Did I say the sound system's not as good?
Yeah.
The steering's not as nice.
Here's a question. If you had to drive from here, Ann Arbor, Michigan, to Tail of the Dragon, spend a weekend down there and come back, would you have this or the M340i?
I've got to drive it there.
Yep.
Do Tail of the Dragon.
For a whole weekend.
For
You're
a
spending
whole
a weekend
weekend.
down there, all the roads and stuff.
This.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm going to be spending more time getting there.
Yeah. In which you'd be saving fuel in the M340i because that B58 is
You
the
didn't
world's
tell me.
most
Yeah, but you didn't tell me what this got on the highway.
33.
Okay, well the M340i got 36, so that's not too big of a difference.
No.
However, incredibly impressive for the M340i.
Yeah, especially the tires. and
Yeah,
stuff.
BMW in general. I probably should have gone there. Right?
Witchcraft and their powertrains, and yeah, you can go this way too.
Okay. Yeah, because I ran fuel economy on the X1 that we were driving this weekend. It got 43.
Yeah.
That's just insane. So.
Do you appreciate that I'm not even gaslighting you and like doubting your number on that one?
Well, yeah, because it was consistent with the cluster and my readout. So I had proof. I had proof for you.
Right.
Whenever we get Volvos, it's so funny because back when I first started this gig with you and Chris, you guys would always get so excited when Volvos would come in. And prior to doing this, I had no experience in Volvos. I appreciated like the way they looked and just kind of what they were, but I had never driven one. I had never even really sat in one. And I was like, why do they care so much about Volvos? And then we had that S90 and it all made sense. And ever since then, I've just been obsessed and I've been so excited when these cars come in because they're just such a relaxing experience. And you get this fantastic Bowers and Wilkins and they just do everything you want them to do. They're understated, and for me anyways as a person, like, I don't know, we shouldn't have to explain it at this point. You should just get it.
You should just watch all of our Volvo videos.
Yeah, either you get it or you don't.
I would like to hold us accountable to a degree and comment on the piano black in this car because I had just edited the Kia Niro review and you made it very clear that you detest. You did. At the very beginning of the video, after I cut it up, that every time you drive a car with piano black in it, you hate it more.
Every time I'm in a car with piano black, I hate it more.
This car, quite a bit.
It does have some piano black. It's not quite a bit though, Charlie. It's not. It's a small amount because most of it's leather. See. And buttons.
I'm just pointing out that someone could say.
Someone could say that, and I will agree that I would like to have a different material down here.
Yeah,
it'd be cool if it was this actually.
That would actually.
Yeah, that'd be nice down there.
My feedback is, and hopefully this makes a little bit of sense. Maybe you'll agree with me.
Do you have steering feel firm on still or no? Okay.
And hopefully this doesn't come off as classist. But
oh God. Glad this is your video.
If you're the type of person to afford and pay for and buy new a Volvo S60, you might treat your piano black a little bit better than if you were buying a Kia Niro. Is that fair to say?
Kia Niros are quite expensive as well.
It's half the price of this car.
That's just half the price. Potentially. I feel like first owners of cars usually treat them well no matter what, but
I'm
sure, Charlie, I'll agree with you.
I'm sure Matthew has a few customers of Nissan of Dearborn that he'd like to have disagree with you.
That's true. Should we try and race this cop?
Yeah, you should. Well, he'll never think it's you because you're simply an electric vehicle driver in your business car.
No, I'm a cop. I'm Men in Black. We're Men in Black right now.
Yeah. We're FBI. He's got nothing on us.
Yeah. Do you know how to tell explorers or cops?
Something to do with their LEDs.
The headlights.
Yeah.
They've got amber headlights. If you're watching and you sometimes get a little bit nervous when you have an Explorer behind you, if it has white DRLs, not a cop. Orange DRLs,
You're done.
cop.
The other way you can tell is if you do 120 in front of them and if they come after you.
That's true, yeah. Well, that'd be the alternate way to find out.
Yeah.
So, overall, Volvo S60, excellent thing.
Really good.
I think maybe, I don't know. So, I actually have a question for you. You've
Oh.
tested the sound system here in the S60, say it's your favorite ever. But we also had the V60 cross country.
Yeah.
Does the cavernous atmosphere of the V60 make it sound slightly worse?
I think so. I
Gotcha.
think the sedan aspect of this car and how tight everything fits together. I mean, there's not a single creak or rattle going over this. I don't think there's really much chassis flex or anything. I think it lends itself to the sound system just
Okay.
a little bit better. And I was looking at the specs. Even if you step up to something like the XC90, it's the same all up here. It just has some extra speakers because there's more room back there that they have to fill with speakers. But everything here should be identical. And yeah, I mean, it really is excellent. The only adjustment I did, and it barely makes any difference,
You turned sub up
I
a
did
little bit.
turn the subwoofer.
I left that. Well, actually, I think when I had it, it was more like that.
Okay. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, it really good. A bit strange, no cooled seats in here.
Chip shortage, perhaps?
Perhaps, or just make it slightly
do
cheaper.
Volvos ever have cooled seats?
Yeah, you can get
Do
them
they?
ventilated
Okay.
seats. I don't know if maybe you can't get the leather though, because you see there's no ventilation holes in this
I
leather.
don't remember
So
ever
maybe you
having a
have to get-
Volvo with ventilated seats.
I know you can get it on like the XC90. Maybe it's not.
Our XC90 had wool seats, so
Yeah,
they
so you
definitely
need
were
it.
not ventilated.
Mm-hmm. The wool just
We
kind
wouldn't
of
need it
blew
for
on your bottom because it's very airy. Wool is a nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
just-
Okay. Yeah.
Well, Chris
Well,
doesn't
Paris
want to
and
get
Nicole.
out, but we're going to. Ugh. There it is, the Volvo S60 Recharge Ultimate
T8.
Edition, Black Edition.
T8.
T8's not on the Monroney though. I know it's on the back deck.
Yeah, but it says it on the car.
Yeah, I know.
So you can add it in to be more preposterous.
2023 Volvo S60 T8 Recharge Ultimate Black Edition.
Yes.
A lot of words. All that means excellent car, and I highly recommend. If you're someone who has to drive a lot,
Yeah,
but
that's a good
not
one.
necessarily do a lot of driving in one day, does that make sense? Like, if you're going to do every day be doing like 50 to 60 miles,
Yeah,
I
it's a
wouldn't want to
perfect
be in
car
any
for
other
that.
car.
No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
And buy a brand new one, so it has a warranty.
Yeah, because if you don't, it'll be worth $2,000.
Yes.
Yeah. And we'll see you on the next one. We're Paris and Nicole with Daily Motor, and as always, 2023 Volvo S60 T8 Recharge Ultimate Black Edition on.
They're just going to say Volvo on.